I do know that the load times are so bad, I'd actually have to do the showcase before the proper stream, just to make sure that I've got it up and running and I've got everything set to a point where I can actually show it off on my measly little computer without, taking forever today just to freaking load. This one shouldn't be quite so bad. Most of the other things that I'll showcase, I'll at least have played enough that I know how bad the load times are on it. That's one I'm not really quite sure, just because the mod is throwing the whole thing off. And I'm hoping that I've got the right mod fired up, because I've actually got a particular mod picked out already. Have I told you about Warhammer 40,000?
I don't think so.
Okay, in that case, this one should be a real trip. I said that only because this is actually kind of like a really good book in a minute version of Warhammer 40k. And this is still like, a 3-hour book in a minute version, so I should tell you how bad the universe is.
Right. Oh.
Oh?
Yeah, I forgot to say it. I can't believe Joan Rivers passed away today.
Oh no. Hey, and we are live! So, what you're looking at here is an absolutely beautiful load screen. What I'm pulling up right now is actually the old Dawn of War Soulstorm. Specifically the hopefully the Ultimate Apocalypse mod. If not, I'll just work with whatever mod I've got. This is what I like to call the interactive book in a minute course of Warhammer 40,000. Why? Because I love 40k. I love the universe, I love the races, I love the greater good more than anything else I've ever met. Oh, look, and I do actually have Ultimate Apocalypse fired up. Alright. One of my favorite features of this game, as anybody who has possibly looked up this game will have mentioned, is the Armor Painter. I like this particular version because it will actually take you a look over every single unit in the force. As I mentioned, I'm a fan of the greater good. The greater good is actually the religion of the Tau Empire, whose traditional colors are actually these. This is a fire warrior. He's a Joe Schmo guy with a long-range gun. They are a long-range shooting army who follow, some people like to refer to them as, and I quote, blue-skinned communist bastards. I like to refer to them as blue-skinned socialist jerks with really powerful guns. They are among my favorite faction of the game. Not just because I love their religion, their armor, their style, their technique. I mean, come on. This is what some of their advanced units look like. How can you say no to this? They show up with mechs, for crying out loud. However, there are many factions behind this game, and this mod actually includes one of the more hated factions of the game, the Tyranids. Every other one is actually featured in the core version of the game. I'm going to go from top to bottom. The Chaos Space Marines. Traitorous angels of death who have fallen to demonic forces. Because sanity is for the weak. The Dark Eldar, whose phrase includes, pain is my bread, terror my wine. The Eldar, Space Elves. No, seriously, if you look up in the Silmarillion, the Book of the Elves, as written by Tolkien himself, Eldar translate as Children of the Stars. Not saying that they don't have an original idea. The Imperial Guard. Let me pull up an actual guardsman. Imperial Guardsmen. Basically Starship Troopers. And I'll actually pull up an actual Imperial Guardsman regiment. There you go. The basically Starship Troopers, the movie, if you're looking for a good reference point. Necrons. The T-10,000. If anything bigger than his common sidearm were just outright overkill. The Orcs. Very politely armed with their chopper and their slugger. The chopper is choppy, the slugger fires slugs, and it goes daka daka daka. They have two gods. Gork, the god of strength and cunning, and Mork, the god of cunning and strength. So you can tell they're not a very bright bunch. The Sisters of Battle, nuns with guns. Pretty much says it. Oh, sorry, Catholic nuns with guns. Pretty much says all you need to hear. The Emperor's Space Marines, the Angels of Death. Basically Starship Troopers the book, or an army full of Master Chiefs. And Tyranids, lovingly called bugs. Comrades, seeing as how you do not have a choice in actually, playing the game, I will give you the option of seeing which force you would like to see me play a little bit more extensively. In this, the Dawn of War Soulstorm Ultimate Apolcyps game showcase. I really need to shorten that title. Well, which will it be?
Oh god, that's creepy as hell.
What, the bug?
Yeah.
He is a Tyranid. There you go, there's a Hormagon. Is that a little less creepy? This is the grimdark future of the 41st millennium.
Go for it.
Alright, so which one would you like to see? Chaos, the Dark Eldar, the Guards, Necrons, Orcs, the Sisters, the Space Marines, the Greater Good, or the Bugs?
Space Marines?
The Space Marines! Alright, I am going to go ahead and grab the Space Wolves, just because I actually am a fan of the lore, the fluff, and the paint scheme. Also, for anyone who would like to get an in-depth version of their of all of the Space Marine chapters, as well as Warhammer 40,000 in general, I will remember to attempt to include a link to the Vaults of Terra. They are currently the single best source of really seeing just how far this lore-ridden hole actually goes. But as I stated, the Space Marines are the Angels of Death. Their core infantry unit is a fanatical bunch of Master Chiefs with the BFG 9000. Yes, the BFG 9000 is their basic weapon. Oh, who is a good faction to shoot at? The Orcs are always fun. Why not? Just for the sake of showing the game, I will go ahead and set it to standard difficulty. And I will go ahead and leave the rest of the features just how I like to play them, because this is all about customization. Unless any of the factions sound like something you'd like to see at the end of a, and by the way, the BFG 9000 is formerly called a bolter. Is there anything you would like to see me put at the end of my soldiers' bolters?
That just sounds wrong.
Oh, trust me, you are going to have a field day with some of the terminology I'm going to throw at you.
Oh god, I don't know if I can handle it.
So, who would you like to see me shoot at?
Everything.
Alright, random it is. So, as we begin the game... actually, this is a rare unit featured specifically in the mod itself. Created by the Adeptus Titanicus, one of the manufacturers of the Imperial Band, for which the Space Marines are actually the lead angels thereof. The Adeptus Titanicus is responsible for creating the largest of the war machines. You might call them mechs. They call them Titans. And if I get a chance, I will show you a size comparison. And believe me when I tell you, the Space Marine, who is 7 feet tall, will probably come up to that thing's big toe. It might rise up to midway up the foot. I guarantee you, not much taller. Other terminology I will throw around is the Emperor protects. It's actually a phrasing used by all forces of the Imperium, and let's face it, I'm in a 40k kind of mood. As I said, the lore hole on this one is incredibly deep. The map I've selected is actually Fallen City. It's commonly used for the tutorial. I like to use it because it is a decently sized map that I can control exactly where my enemy comes, for the most part. The AI is incredibly rush heavy, throwing units as fast as it humanly can. As such, I will be While I'll be attempting to go over a lot of exposition, if you get hit with long pauses, it's just because I'm trying to multitask and get units out as quick as humanly possible against this AI that is going to attempt to rush me with everything it can, especially if it's playing orcs. I should go ahead and explain chapters. Space Marines are split into 1,000 individual chapters, which is simply nothing more than a grouping of Space Marines. Some of them follow a very simple, 10 company layouts. Some, like these guys, do not. This game treats all Space Marines as Space Marines. There are some mods that have come up with some variations, Space Wolves actually being among them, as well as another chapter that was on the list called the Dark Angels. I will not be going into any of their extensive lore and plot tricks because it does not matter. I'm here to show off a game, not yap at you about Warhammer 40,000. That will be on the Vaults of Terra, and I am sensing that I'll likely be doing one of these as well, just on my 40k fluff, just to explain what on earth it is I'm talking about. My suggestion, if I throw a proper noun at you, I'm sorry. I will go ahead and inform those. This is set in the grimdark future of the 41st millennium. There is only war. And so we begin. I'm going to start with what is known as a servitor. It is basically a cheap little builder unit. That's all it really needs to know. Some of the opening units that I'm going to build are scouts. For the most part, they are fairly inexpensive infiltration units. That can be trained how to, well, they don't start off as infiltrators, and as a matter of fact, they start off as guys with small bolt pistols, which fire off 70 caliber mini missiles, and chain swords. It's actually exactly what it sounds like. The game is played by capturing strategic points, for which you simply send a unit over, have them plant their flag, whip the battlefield up, and it is yours. Strategic points grant you this lovely requisition resource listed in blue. My core infantry, the tactical marines. Once again, I will not be messing around, as the AI will in fact be out to get me very quickly. These are power generators. They get you the power resource listed here. This is primarily used in unit upgrades. Those you will notice, some units, or some individual units can actually count them themselves, including all of my headquarters. The Imperium of Man in the 41st millennium is not a very cheery place. The Space Marines literally spend their entire day fighting. When they are not fighting, they are training how to fight. When they're not training how to fight, they are spending 4 hours a day sleeping. Because biologically engineered super soldier. Now, if the normal Marine, packing several large caliber mini missiles, rapid firing by the way, as I will show later once they start shooting, is not scary enough for you, I'm going to get them a jetpack. Why? Because Space Marines hate life. It is also worth noting that this mod actually includes custom music, some of which I absolutely love, some of which I'm not really a fan of. Other points include critical locations, for which I'm actually currently securing in bulk. Certain victory types will allow you to win simply by capturing and holding these. I usually tend to disable those as they kind of ruin some of my fun. It's also worth noting that you do have the ability to teleport some units in from buildings. Such as my Assault Marines, which I'm simply going to have leap in from outside the battlefield. Or actually, I think they might use the teleporter motion. Nope. They will in fact fly in from above. Why? Why not?
Yes, my lord.
This is a relic. Not to be mistaken with the relic resource, this primarily gives me additional requisition, and is currently being captured by the Sisters of Battle. As I said, they are not messing around with how quick they like to move. It's also worth noting that the Sisters of Battle actually carry Space Marine weaponry, because they are the Church, and, well, they don't like people. You also notice that both factions are going to be screaming out for the Emperor. That is because they are loyalists of the God Emperor, who is basically the spiritual, or the Warhammer 40,000 equivalency of the Christian God from medieval Christianity. or specifically medieval Catholicism. God is out to get you, there is nothing you can do to prevent this.